What's the deal with flavored whiskey? We've all had a screwball, we've all had a fireball, but are there some other flavored whiskeys out there that are actually pretty good? Let's find out.
I'm your drinking buddy.
All right, drinking buddies, I'm gonna abuse my Glencairn here by tasting some flavored whiskeys, and I'm gonna give you a few recommendations of some that I've tried that I really like. I mean, you guys all know that I really like Screwball, and I do feel that most of the other peanut butter whiskeys out there are poor imitations to the classic Screwball. And for cinnamon whiskeys, I'm gonna go ahead and say the opposite. The classic Fireball is nowhere near as good as Jack Daniel's Tennessee Fire. But here in front of you, I have 4 flavored whiskeys that I'm gonna go ahead and recommend to you because I like the 4 of them. And let me say that I'm carefully recommending this one on the end. I'm only recommending this to people who like shots. I'm not a big shots guy, but a shot of this Old Smokey, Tennessee, salty watermelon whiskey is actually quite nice, a shot. But just to getting a little pour of it, let's do that. I'm gonna punish myself here with a little taste of this. Like I said, it makes a good shot. You chill this up, pour out some shots of this for some friends at a party. They will be happy. It actually does shoot really nicely. But as far as just taking a sip of it, really smells like watermelon Jolly Ranchers, just like so strong of watermelon Jolly Ranchers. And the taste is, you know, it is a little bit better than I'm remembering, but it's not something that I would go to drink neat like I'm doing right now. There's not a lot of whiskey flavor at all. Actually calling it a whiskey is probably a little bit of an exaggeration. Yeah, it tastes to me more like a watermelon vodka than anything remotely resembling whiskey. But like I said, I'm recommending it for people who like shots. It does have a nice Jolly Rancher watermelon flavor, I will admit that. Next up, one that I'm recommending for people who maybe don't like the Fireball or the Screwball. You might like this one, and this is gonna be Heritage Distilling's Brown Sugar Bourbon. And I will recommend a bottle of theirs that is not a flavored whiskey, but they have a nice rye whiskey that they finish in barrels that previously held vanilla extract, which would therefore be a finished whiskey, not a flavored whiskey. And if you're out there and you can find that one, it's actually quite tasty, and it's a cheaper bottle. It's under 30 bucks. It tastes really nice, neat, just hits you with a vanilla flavor. It tastes like vanilla ice cream. Brown sugar bourbon. Smells like brown sugar. Super sweet, cloyingly sweet. But as you're sipping it, you can clearly taste some of those whiskey flavors coming through. The vanilla from the bourbon. You can get a little bit of the spiciness from the rye that's used to produce bourbon. And you get a little bit of caramel as well. 3 very common flavors I get off of a bourbon. And so those flavors are just complemented by the fact that they probably put a crap load of brown sugar in here. Brown sugar bourbon, recommend it, pretty darn good. Now this one is pretty nice actually. It tastes really good by itself, actually really solid on the rocks, but it's also good in cocktails. I've used it in a number of cocktails, and I highly recommend having a bottle of this around because you can use it in recipes that call for Applejack. You can use it for recipes that call for apple brandy. You can use it for recipes that call for apple schnapps. You are tweaking the recipe at that point. You're not making the cocktail that they originally intended for, but I would say it's a versatile liquor that you can use to replace some of those ingredients, and it won't change the cocktail dramatically. It will change it, but it won't change it dramatically. Oh, yeah. Apple candy, apple pie. It tastes like an apple tart, like you just walked into a bakery and they're baking these apple tarts, and you're just like, I gotta have whatever it is you're baking. And they're like, oh yeah, we're making apple tarts. And they bring one out to you, and you don't even wait to pay for it. You just eat it right there in front of the bakery clerk at your grocery store or at your, I don't know, local bakery. It's good. It's good meat. It's good on the rocks. It's good in cocktails. This is one that I will never stick my nose up to. Jack Daniel's Apple. In fact, I'll go ahead and say it. All of the Jack Daniel's flavored whiskeys that I have tasted are at least pretty good. All right, drinking buddies. So I went ahead and saved the best for last. I honestly believe that this is the best flavored whiskey I've ever tasted. And that's gonna be Cali Spirits California Sipping Whiskey. What makes this a flavored whiskey? Well, it's finished with spices. This is akin to a spiced rum, but a whiskey version of a spiced rum. Now, I like what they're doing in Cali Spirits. I really like their Riptide Rye. I've never bought their Maverick. It's a double wooded American whiskey that's kind of similar to a bourbon. I've never tried that one, but I really like this one, and I really like their Riptide Rye, which is a barrel proof rye that is just so potent with butterscotch flavor. It's like taking a butterscotch pie to the face. It's so butterscotchy. And I really like that Riptide Rye. But this Cali Spirits California Sipping Whiskey, finished with spices, is the spiced rum of whiskeys. And boy, is it good. Nutmeg, pumpkin. This smells like a pumpkin pie. I have never smelled pumpkin on a whiskey before, but this smells like pumpkin. Pumpkin pie. Nice and sweet. The clove flavor is really strong on this. If you are a pumpkin spice latte fan, you might really like this. If you are a apple cider fan at the winter, you might like this. If you're a fan of pumpkin pie, you will definitely like this. It's funny that it has palm trees on the bottle when I feel like it should have a picture of a pumpkin pie on it, because this is pumpkin pie liqueur here. Not really, but it's what it tastes like to me. And cloves are really, really strong on this. And it does remind me of a cross between a really nice spiced rum and a really nice sipping whiskey. Solid bottle, I'm gonna recommend that. I don't know how many areas it's available in, but it is one that is available in at least Arizona and California. And hopefully it's available in more. I did get this at Total Wine, so if you have a Total Wine and More in your area, you might check there. I did get a store pick on this particular bottle. It was bottle number 194 out of 240 of the bottles that they produced for Total Wine. This bottle does have a 92-point rating from the Tasting Panel magazine, and that's pretty darn good for a flavored whiskey. I challenge you to find a higher, panel tasting review of a flavored whiskey than this one. Could be out there, I just personally haven't seen it. I'm gonna go ahead and ask you guys to do me a favor. I want you to go ahead and react to the video. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, I don't care which, just whatever you felt about the video, give it to me. I wanna do an experiment here to see if everybody that watches the video either thumbs up or thumbs down, I don't care if you hit thumbs down, if I get more likes because of this. Thank you very much, and we'll see you on the next one.